Okay guys, so here's where we're at with the build. I got the truck tore apart how I need it, the front and rear differential assemblies, because I'm really only going to be using the differentials and the input gears and the shocks and the hubs off of these. And I pretty much left everything alone in here because I'm not really touching much out of here except for taking the posts off, the receiver box. I need to get inside there to get my receiver, and then my servo. It's going to have different electronics. And obviously I need my wing, and I'm going to be using this front bumper again, but a whole new body and everything, so it's going to be gone. Guess I'm going to start with building the rear, so building this with all this stuff, the BASHERQUEEN tower and the M2C hinge pin kit and new A-arms for the rear and droop screws that I'm going to use. I know M2C put some in it, but I like these even better. A little bigger of a head and can be adjusted top or bottom. New sway bars, everything. New bulkhead, well, diff case, whatever you want to call this. So let me get the mess cleaned up, and we'll get some of the stuff open and take a look at it and see what it looks like and get started on the build. Get the rear done. Okay guys, so we're going to start out with the diff case and getting these M2C hinge pins put together on it. Looks like it's M2C 3130 ARRMA off-road rear hinge pin kit. This is the locking type. So I'll get this all opened and put out on a paper towel and separate it and see if I can figure out how this goes together. We'll get this on with the arms and then probably move on to the tower. Then I'll be able to put the upper camber links on and standoffs, start moving forward with getting the rear built. Okay, well, we got the hinge pins on. I think it needs some time to wear in. This is really tight. So let me get the shock tower mounted. The BASHERQUEEN 330222 rear carbon fiber tower. So we'll get this mounted up next. Okay guys, here we are back with the rear. I got the rear arms on, the rear hinge pin kit, the shock tower, the standoffs, and the upper links. So, and I swapped over my droop screws. So ARRMA comes out with these ones. They just have a hex on one side. It's just a bolt. I run one from ARRMA that's exactly like this, but on this side has a 2.0 millimeter hex in it, so you can adjust them from the top. And this head's a little bigger than what comes with the ones from M2C, so I'm going to use these ones on this and not the M2Cs. So next I need to set this aside for a minute and get out the old diff and get what I need off of it, the differential, the input gear. I got new bearings that I'm putting in this, and the hubs. So I'll get all them stuff off. cleaned up and get them ready to go into that. Okay guys, I got everything out and I just need to get it in, so that's gonna be my next step, is to get all this stuff in, and then that should be it for the rear clip, and we can move on to get the front clip built. And from the front clip, then we'll worry about the next video where we'll get the center all built and all this stuff on it, and then that'll just leave me with needing to rebuild the shocks. So okay guys, so got it all together for the rear. The carbon fiber BASHERQUEEN tower, the M2C hinge pin, retainers. It's all pretty much new. The only thing that's used is these drive shafts, and the differential in these hubs have been used a few times just to get it together originally. So okay, so now it's time to move on to the front. Okay guys, so the rear's all done, cleaned up, got everything that I need to start assembling the front one. So this one I'm not going to bring back as much as I did in the rear, because it's basically the same thing. There's just, instead of upper camber links, there's going to be the top plate and upper arms. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this built, and then I'll just bring you back and let you see what it looks like all done, set aside, and then we'll be wrapping this part up. Okay guys, I'm back, and the front is now complete. As you can see, I got the new carbon fiber BASHERQUEEN shock tower with the M2C standoffs. I have the M2C A block, the B block, and the upper retainer. Now on the upper retainer I did have some issues. I'm gonna have to do a little figuring out between now and then, because these little retainers are supposed to go over top of the upper pin head and then bolt into, I thought, one of the shock tower mount bolts, but they just don't line up. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or if this is just manufactured just a tad bit wrong. I mean, the tower bolts right up, so I would assume this bolts right up. But I just need to check and make sure I'm doing it right. So that's gonna end this video. The next video will be fitting this, the rear, onto the chassis after I get all the motor mount in and servo mount in. Once I get everything done on the chassis, then I'll put the front and rear clips on. But smooth as butter now. Thanks guys. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. There's still more to come than bashing. So thanks again guys. I'm Mike with RC4Us, and we're out.